Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to discuss the poetry section of your 2020 O-Level past paper. My focus in this video will be on essay type questions because I know that there are many students struggling to write proper essay answers. I know that many students find it easier to write context than essays, so that's why I'm focusing on essay answers primarily. So if you need more content like this, please make sure that you like this video and subscribe to our channel. And if you have any suggestions for our future videos, let us know down in the comments and I would highly appreciate it. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. By now you know that your paper has two parts, part A, part 1 and part 2. Now part 1 contains context questions and part 2 essay types. In part 2, you have to select one question from the 4 sections under poetry, drama, prose and fiction. So one from poetry, one from drama, one from prose and one from fiction. In this video, I'm going to focus on the poetry section. So in your 2020 paper, there are 5 questions for the poetry section in part 2. Part 2, the questions are based on To the Nile, Big Match 1983, Farewell to Barn and Stack and Tree, The Earthen Goblet and Upside Down. So let's take a look at the questions first. To the Nile explores the similarities between the Nile and other rivers. Discuss how a sense of social conflict is presented in the poem Big Match 1983. Farewell to Barn and Stack and Tree poetically depicts the emotional conflict of an individual. Examine the significance of the poetic techniques used in the poem The Earthen Goblet. Discuss how abnormality results in humor as presented in the poem Upside Down. Okay, these are the questions and we are going to use the standard essay structure to answer these questions. So, a standard essay has an introduction, a body which consists of 3 supporting points or paragraphs, and a conclusion. So the first thing we need to discuss on is the introduction, right? But before we write the introduction, we need to understand the question properly, right? We need to understand what we are expected to write about. So it'll be helpful for you to look at the keywords in these questions to decode it. If you take a look at this question, To the Nile explores the similarities between the Nile and other rivers. Discuss. We have keywords like similarities, the Nile and other rivers. So basically the statement says that the Nile and other rivers are alike. They are similar. There's nothing special about the river Nile. This is the same attitude the poet has towards the river Nile, if you can remember. By comparing the river Nile to others, he is actually painting a realistic image about it, right? So we simply have to comment on this aspect of the poem, right? So now we can go ahead and start writing the introduction. The poem To the Nile is written by John Keats, a celebrated English romantic poet. Written in the Petrarchan sonnet style, it explores the qualities of the river Nile, which was considered sacred by ancient cultures. However, the poet compares the Nile with other ordinary rivers and finds that it does not differ from them. Thus, the essay will discuss how the poet paints a realistic image of the river Nile by highlighting common traits between the Nile and other rivers. Okay, this is the introduction. Remember, a standard introduction always ends with a thesis statement. Now, I have explained what the thesis statement is in my previous videos, but that's okay, I'm going to briefly explain it to you right now. Thesis statement is the last sentence of your introduction, and it is the main argument of your essay, or you can tell that it's the thing that you want to discuss in the essay, right? And it is basically a rephrasing of your questions. Now, if you compare this thesis statement with the question, you can see that they are somewhat similar, but you can't use the same phrasing or the same words or wording. You need to change it a little bit, and sometimes you will see that you will have to add certain details, like what I have done here. I added the realistic nature of the poet's depiction of the river Nile which is what he wants to achieve by comparing the two types of rivers. Actually, it's the River Nile and other ordinary rivers. So you can see that most of the times there are hidden clues or ideas behind the questions you are given. So in this case, the hidden idea was the realistic depiction of the river. So you might ask how to uncover these hidden clues or ideas. To be honest, this comes with practice. The more you practice, the more you become capable of uncovering these hidden clues. Okay, after writing the introduction, you need to focus on the body paragraphs. Normally for an essay, you need 3 points or paragraphs, right? Now, how should we write a paragraph? For this, we need to use the PEAL structure. The word PEAL stands for point, evidence, explanation, and link. Now, point is the first sentence in your paragraph and tells your examiner what you are going to write about. Evidence are quotations. Evidences are quotations to prove your point. Explanation is to explain how the quotation proves your point. Basically, it is to link the quotation with your point. And finally, we have the link, the last sentence of your paragraph. It is sort of a restatement of your point, right? Your first sentence, that is the point. However, you might add certain details, extra details at the end to the linking. Okay. When we talk about the question to the Nile, you can write a body paragraph like this. The river Nile was regarded as a sacred force by ancient civilizations. The poet uses various titles attributed to the river Nile as follows: the son of the old moon mountains, chief of pyramid and crocodile, and nurse of sword nations. The river Nile is personified in all these instances. It is called the son of the old moon mountains because the river originates from these mountains in Africa. The mountain itself is considered holy by African cultures, thus the river is equally considered holy. The river is called the chief of pyramids and crocodile because it was the central force that built the ancient Egyptian civilization. The pyramids and crocodiles are two powerful symbols of this civilization. The symbol is suggestive of the deep respect people had towards the river. The Nile is also called nurse of black nations because it was a source of nourishment and healing for African nations. Thus, the poet highlights the deification of the river Nile by ancient cultures. Okay, now as you can see, the first sentence is what we call a point or a topic sentence. When we have evidences, up next we have evidences in the form of quotations. And then we explain how these quotations relate to the point. Finally, we restate our point in a slightly different way, which we call the linking sentence. Okay, now let's take a look at the second body paragraph. Again, we are sticking to the PEAL structure. Right, the poet gradually begins to grow suspicious of the power given to the river Nile. He questions, art thou so fruitful, or dost thou beguile such men to honor thee, who worn with toil rest for a space twixt Cairo and Deccan? He poses a rhetorical question about the fruitfulness of the river, which indicates his suspicion. He reveals the possibility of people being beguiled or deceived by the length of the river that extends from Cairo to Deccan. For people who travel through vast deserts, the Nile stands out as the only source of water and therefore the only source of life, right? Thus, they have endowed the river with many titles as described in the earlier paragraph. Further, he claims that it is ignorance that makes a barren waste of all beyond itself. The Nile is surrounded by a vast desert. According to the poet, it is ignorance, not divinity, which makes the land barren. The poet argues that if the river has divine powers, it needs to be able to make the land fertile. Hence, the poet seems to suspect the beliefs of people who glorified and deified the river Nile. Okay, now we come to the third body paragraph. Towards the end of the sonnet, the poet compares the river Nile with other rivers, painting a realistic image. Thou dost bedew green rushes like our rivers, and dost taste the pleasant sunrise. Green isles hast thou too, and to the sea as happily dost haste. The poet highlights the similarities between the river Nile and other rivers. He observes that the river Nile, similar to its counterparts, bedews the rushes that grow on its bank. He mentions that many rivers are exposed to sunshine as same as the Nile. Further, the poet claims that similar to the river Nile, other rivers have green islands on them. Ultimately, the Nile flows to the sea as any other river. The writer is challenging the beliefs held by people about the divine nature of the Nile by comparing it with other rivers. Thus, he is attempting to paint a realistic image of this body of water. Right, now it's time to write the conclusion. Like I said earlier in one of my previous videos titled Barn and Stack Tree Model Answer, a conclusion is there to string the main points together, right? To make the connection between the main points visible to the examiner, right? It is there to string the main points together so the connection between the main points looks more visible to the examiner. So for this, we need to take the points of the three body paragraphs and restate them in a slightly different way. Okay, it begins by stating your purpose in writing this essay. What did you set out to discuss? It looks something like this. The essay discussed the similarities between the river Nile and other rivers. That is what you set out to do. At the outset, the poet presents instances of deification of the river by ancient Africans and Egyptians. However, he then begins to doubt the many titles bestowed on the river Nile, claiming that a divine power would not make the land surrounding it barren. Ultimately, he comes to the conclusion that the river Nile is similar to any other river in the world. Thus, the sonnet challenges the traditional assumptions about the river Nile and paints a realistic image by comparing it with other rivers. Right, this is the conclusion. This is how you need to write an essay type question or an answer. Right? Hope this was helpful to untangle some of your concerns, your doubts. If you have any questions about this poem or about this answer, leave a comment so I'll be able to address them in my next video. So up next, I'm going to analyze the question on Big Match. So stay tuned for that. Finally, I would like you to invite to become a part of our community by subscribing to our channel. That's it for today. Thanks for sticking by and take care, folks.